All right, ChroNoSo, we are back with a special guest, Drew Wardlaw. What's going on, buddy?
Ooh, not much. Excited about this match tonight. Can't wait.
What we're reviewing, Drew, / live watching, is this beautiful man right here, Ravishing Food versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake from the February MSC 1989. Have you ever seen this match, Drew?
Never. And what's more, I have seen very little 1989 WWF. So this is exciting for me. Yeah.
It's a very historically good year in the WWF.
Yeah, it's so me and a couple friends of mine, they grew up. Actually, they're both from Boston.
Swell guys, I bet.
I'm sure, yes. But they grew up as WWF guys. I grew up as a WCW guy. So I haven't watched a lot of this stuff. So we've been the three of us have been watching some classic cards together. So whenever like this era comes up, it's always really exciting for me.
So what era are you guys watching, like chronologically or just randomly?
Just we'll watch anything. So any promotion, but mostly it ends up being WCW and WWF. So
okay, if they feel like watching their era, they'll watch some WWF. You feel like watching your area, WCW. That's cool. So this kind of is right up the alley. This is again two people you would kind of have bad reputations in a way. Rude's a great worker. As you would know, some of his better work is in WCW in the early 90s.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not so much at WCW, but he's a historically, how do we put this, nepotism.
Right, sure.
Nepotism. I don't know. This is when I was kind of organizing ChroNoSo. I looked at this. It kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Yeah. I watched it, and I'm like, this is low-key kind of good. I'm putting it on ChroNoSo and live watch it. Fuck it. So that's what we here.
Yeah. I'm excited to see because so I mean, my first exposure to Rick Rude obviously was WCW in '92. So, and I've seen like, so what have I seen? You know what? I've seen SummerSlam '89. That's I've seen that full show, and that's a good show.
Yeah.
So that's a good Rick Rude match.
Beefcake and Hogan versus Macho and Zeus.
Of course. So here it comes.
What's your favorite Rude WCW early 90s match?
Oh, has to be the Iron Man match with Steamboat at Beach Blast '92. Yeah, as far as singles matches, that's it. Awesome match. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So why was your eye more keen to WCW back in the day? Was it like accessibility or more connection? What do you think so?
It was just the first thing I saw, and I had a weird so I saw that and I thought, oh well, that's what wrestling is, and I was still aware of like Hulk Hogan because he's such a transcendent guy, and probably like Macho Man too. I knew those names, but I never made the connection that I could watch other wrestling. It never occurred to me to watch it. So, I didn't see WWF until I mean a little bit at my cousin's house at like 1993 maybe. 93, 94. And then and because I remember seeing the Steiners in WWF and thinking, oh well, I thought they were in WCW, but then I really actually saw like a more WWF in I don't know 96.
Right, little technical difficulty, but we're back. So you saw the Steiners at your cousin's house, and you're very loyal to WCW, and you're very naive to the WWE, and you're confused. Is that where we're at?
Yeah. I saw the Steiners on WWF TV, and I didn't understand because I had seen them in WCW. But again, it just never occurred to me that like I could just watch WWF too. And so that it wasn't until like 1996 maybe that I started watching a little more WWF. Still didn't watch a ton of it though, but I was always a WCW guy. Now what's on Rude's trunks there?
This is a house show, so it could be. This is 89. I'm assuming that's someone's wife. He's in the midst of the Warrior feud, so I'm not really necessarily sure. There's a lot of stuff going on here if you haven't out live watching it. But a lot of gyrations, some low-key mooning, Chippendales. There's a lot going on here. Too.
It's the good stuff. Only the good stuff. This is the sport right here. So Ryan, you're a Boston guy, right?
I'm a Boston guy. Yep, I'm Boston, Worcester. So I'm Central Mass. I'm about 4 years old here. I'm 38 right now, so I'm in my child phase here. I got the Hasbros. I'm watching. I'm not remembering pretty much. I know what wrestling is. I'm very aware of it. I'm obsessed with it, but I'm not like I don't remember the day-to-day grind of this yet.
Did you ever go to shows at the Boston Garden?
Yeah, I went more like the Worcester Auditorium or the Worcester Centrum at the time, which is now the DCU. So I don't really think I went to Boston Garden until I was an adult and I could go myself. But I definitely recall, you know what, my biggest remembrance is seeing Tugboat and Lex Luger, when Lex Luger would take the kid to wave the flag. I was like, oh, pick me, but it's all he was predetermined, you know what I mean? But I definitely remember Tugboat. And I remember Lex Luger as the flag. So I'm thinking 92, 93.
Yeah, awesome. Best years of the company.
So to speak. I remember seeing Hulk, and I remember definitely going to like a Superstar taping and reaching over it and grabbing Bret Hart's arm. So that's very cool. But that's cool. That's very cool. I've been searching Superstars, but I'm not keen on what year. How about you, Drew? Are you in California, West Coast, growing up?
Yes. Yeah. Central Coast of California is where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So are you a football fan? We're watching this during the Raiders shellacking the San Diego or the LA Chargers.
So
it is currently 49-7.
Oh boy, yeah. No, I'm not a big football guy. I like it, but it's just it's a time thing for me. I don't have the time or the energy for it.
I hear you.
I would love to. You know what I would love to do is I would love to see a Raiders game in Las Vegas. I think that would be pretty cool.
I did go to SummerSlam there. It was the stadium's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I've seen the stadium. I haven't been inside of it though, but yeah, it seems awesome. Like a great venue for anything.
Art. It's like Darth Vader.
Yeah, so cool.
Struggling here, Drew. We'll work through it. We're working through it, Drew. That's what we do here at ChroNoSo. We work through the nerve holes and everything.
Oh, look, like the boys are working through a test of strength right here. Look at Beefcake.
Oh, those kicks and strikes weren't too bad.
No, this is I love a test of strength. Nothing beats it.
My feeling overall on Beefcake, working standpoint, he's a very good tag worker. He's so boring and. Like he has one speed, he has one trick, but he's more of a shine in the tag. Like the Dream Team's a great team.
Yeah.
Valentine does the grunt work. Beefcake's going to do the hot work, get some shine. But Beefcake's okay. He's so hated. He's low-key underrated, but he's just so bad. You know what I mean? Like I'm contradicting what I'm saying, but he's just so like.
But you love him, right? You love him.
I think I had a fondness because I liked him as a kid, but you know, 38-year-old Ryan would probably go slap six-year-old Ryan for cutting and strutting around the living room every day of the week here. But I don't know, he's okay. He does a few things he does is okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I think they're working this match like pretty good. Like they're doing what they're supposed to do, you know. Look at Beefcake. Well, he wants another test of strength.
Well, he knows what he's good at. He's stronger than Rude. Rude's slender and quicker. Beefcake's got the beef. Did you know Linda McMahon gave him that nickname or that ring name? Beefcake?
Whoa, no. Yeah, what's the story behind that?
I believe Linda McMahon gave her the look at him. He looks like $1 million, and he reminded her as a Chippendale dancer. So he's a beefcake. So he's Brutus Beefcake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before the barber. So I think she had a wandering eye, and Brutus had the physique to kind of satisfy that wandering eye, and there you are.
Linda McMahon, that's an alternate universe there. Linda McMahon gets together with Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
So speaking of Brutus and speaking of Boston, did you ever hear of the 2003 Brutus the Barber Beefcake working the side gimmick story?
No, what's that?
All right, so we're in 2003, past 9/11. And Anthrax, not the band. I should get your Black Sabbath shirt on. Yeah. But Anthrax, the chemical powder, white, looking similar to cocaine, is a thing.
Very popular, very big in 2003.
Yep. So as my junior year in high school, not a drug guy, but I can attest to remembering Anthrax. And Beefcake is a toll collector. A toll collector is... You know, you work the highway, and the guys drive up. They give you $1, they give you your quarters, you make your change, whatever.
Okay, so, this is sounding familiar now. Yeah, go on.
So it's a pretty good job. It's a state job. You know, the Mass Pike the Massachusetts big tax state pays pretty well. I'm sure it's a pretty decent gimmick for a retired wrestler who doesn't really have much life skills, really, right?
Right.
So. Big beefy guy. No one's gonna really fuck with you. Yeah, everyone's gonna give you your scratch, give you some respect, whatever. The Beefcake's over there. Again, some white substance on his counter, right, as he's collecting the tolls.
Sure.
Perhaps. And, I guess they do a spot check or whatever, and they shut down the Mass Pike because I think they have Anthrax in his booth. Yada yada yada. One boy was sniffing coke on the job, and he shut down the Mass Pike or whatever. Now, I'm not 100% I might have missed a few steps, but that's pretty much the gist of it. They had an Anthrax scare in Boston because Beefcake was doing coke in his toll booth.
Incredible. So now did he got fired, I assume?
I don't think he comes back from that one, buddy.
That's a tough one. I mean, now it's a state job. That's probably a union represented there. So they, it's hard to get fired from a public sector, but
if you need union representation in Massachusetts, I'm your guy as president of the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union.
Look at you.
I'm your guy if you need union representation in Massachusetts. There you go.
Okay.
If you're holler at your boy.
Absolutely. So are all state jobs union represented?
No.
Do you know?
I don't know if the toll. Actually, here's the thing: the toll booth is kind of not a job anymore. They were downsized because everything's fast pass now. You drive through, you get your license plate, and you have your meters in your car, whatever. Everything's cashless. You're not really collecting quarters or whatever. So that you're kind of laid off at this point, or a very small percentage of the toll booth companies are repositioned into different state jobs. But then again, someone like Beefcake, who's only 55 years old, if you're not fired from sniffing Anthrax or coke, whatever you want to call it, in your toll booth, I'm sure that you would look at the numbers and everything, and unfortunately, he probably would have gotten laid off at the time and had to find different work as the world changes.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you. That's a good. So we don't really have toll booths out here, so that's a good lesson for me. I appreciate that. We're learning about toll booths here on ChroNoSo.
Yeah, hey, in Massachusetts we move hard and fast on the pike. You know what I mean? That's it's a lot of congestion, a lot of gridlock. I'm sure you're very familiar with gridlock too in California, but not as much gridlock now that toll booths aren't necessarily a thing. You can kind of keep traffic moving. We could use some California 4 or 5 lane highways. We're still kind of congested.
Yeah, that Boston traffic. Not a great thing.
Not our
LA traffic also not a great thing.
Besides the coast, we got a lot in common there. We got the coast, the ocean, and terrible gridlock traffic.
Absolutely. Now, are you a beach guy? Do you go to the beach a lot out there?
Unfortunately, I don't. My wife would prefer me to be a Wheat Beach guy, but I'm kind of not. I'm kind of a masshole, and the beach makes me angry. I don't mind it. I think I was traumatized at an early age, getting all like pulverized with the sun at the beach by the early age.
It's an ordeal. Yeah, it's an ordeal. Sand everywhere. It's a lot.
You like the beach though?
I don't know. It's all right. I go because go to the family to the beach. I play along, but it's not my favorite. But it's good in the summer. We live in a beach town, so it's not too far. But my daughter likes it.
A lot of the summers I spent on Cape Cod with my grandparents, and I don't think they believe in sunscreen, so that's probably has a lot to do with it.
Right. No, back then it's you got to get a good burn early in the summer, so then you got a good tan for the rest of the time.
Well, I'm Irish.
Oh.
I'm Irish, so it's not too fair on my skin there.
No.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We're about 40% headlocks in this match in here, but this headlock is deep. As Ravishing Recruit is, got these Randy Orton-like headlock here, midst of the ring here.
He's working it.
He's working it, but it's okay. We've been more talking about bullshitting, a little bit about Beefcake, a little bit about Coke, but mostly about Boston and California life. But this match is fine. Maybe I overhyped it a bit, but at the end, the antics. Yeah, you'll see the antics where it's kind of fun.
I'm waiting for the end. Now, I will say, I really enjoyed the beginning. I like the antics and stuff at the beginning. So I like a test of strength. I like a lockup, all of that. Beefcake could be out here. Let's see.
Now look at that. Look at that roid belly though. He ain't popping out. He ain't getting out there though. I mean, that's a rough angle for Brutus the Barber Beefcake. What I will say though, commitment to the gimmick where he's powering up, hulking up from stealing a little thunder from his buddy, hulking up here, but he got his two struts up, living the gimmick as he beefcakes up here. Gotta sell those foam figures, man.
It's attention to detail.
So I know you're a WCW head, and let's kind of put that to use here as we continue to talk about Beefcake. Which was your favorite Beefcake alias, we'll call it, or whatever in WCW?
I was so I was confused a lot as a child, but it was all so confusing to me. I mean, I guess maybe Zodiac, just because the face paint was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll say Zodiac.
There were so many good ones though. The Booty Man.
Booty Man, of course.
A mix of Diamond Dallas Page, mix of Brutus Barber Beefcake and Johnny B. Bad is the Booty Man.
With the high knee. Yeah, the Disciple. Yeah, maybe the Disciple with the painted on beard. That was maybe the most confusing because it took me a little bit to figure it out.
Did you see that there with the pumping the brakes there? I did appreciate that from Rude.
Yeah.
Beefcake out of position, of course, but I did love that from Rude there. These strikes are strong, man.
Rude's good. Rude
is good. He just gets too much hate because the resume is a little kind of weak.
Yeah.
From a WWF standpoint.
Yeah, but man, that 92 run, it's like the first half of the year, he's like the best in the world.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I don't think I've watched that Steamboat match from Beach Blast that you mentioned since like the network came out. I think I threw that on. I was like, I gotta watch this, but man, I haven't watched that in like 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Absolutely incredible. I don't know, but he's like, would you say that this is a Rude carry job?
It's house show. Do you think they're calling it, or do you think they're calling it out there, or do you think how much detail you think they're going into?
Oh, I think they're totally calling it. I don't know when that started, like the real heavy kind of scripting of the matches, but I would bet that
so it's definitely a Rude carry job for the most part.
Okay.
You can kind of tell too by he's setting the pace. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always have trouble. A lot of times, every now and then I can catch it, but a lot of times it's hard for me to see like, oh, okay, this guy's really the one leading the match.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean,
By
Rude's,
nature, the heels do. They say back
right.
in the day, the heels would usually carry it. But Rude's really
They'll call the
doing
match, right?
Yeah, Rude's really doing great with the mannerisms here late. Here.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at that.
Franticness is great. The crowd's coming too. The crowd's fantastic at the end.
Yeah. I mean, he's okay,
I wouldn't mind Beefcake getting his midsection a little closer there, so it looks like he's really gripping it instead. He looks lazy there. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Little things.
But that's it, right? It's like Rick Rude, he's really selling it. He's making the big gestures and everything, and that's kind of making up for maybe the slightly loose headlock there or sleeper hold.
And it's a signature move. You think that the boy would be good at it by now. You know what I mean? But total Rude carry job here. It's not over, yo. Bobby puts the foot on the rope there.
There he is.
Good fire. Look at him. So this is parasailing accidents. Probably what, next summer?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was
90. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 90.
Oh, is it 90? Is it that early?
That's a good bump.
That's a good one.
I
thought because when does he do the Mariner? Oh, I got a cat up here. When does he do the Mariner thing where he has the mask, the Mariner mask?
Oh, when he comes back in '93, but he's parasailing. He's gone for a while.
Oh, it was that long. It was multiple years. Wow. Okay. And he comes back and a fan tells him to kill himself
during an episode of Raw or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's light right there. Like,
there you go.
Decent little match, decent house show match. The fans got into it. Gentlemen's 2.5.
4.5.
2.5. Come on.
Oh, okay.
A gentleman's 2.5. Gentleman's 2.5. You know what I mean? I thought it was fun. Two guys we haven't. Rude's kind of new to ChroNoSo. Every chance I can get to talk about him in a glowing light, I will here. All right, you think we're gonna get the scissors here? Is there any chance we're gonna get him cutting and strutting?
Okay, let's see. On a house show?
No chance, buddy. Good to see Bobby here on the house show, though. He's not always there.
No. That they used to. The old managers, they wouldn't really stay out for the matches. They just kind of walk the guys out and head back to the back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or they wouldn't even travel to the house shows. The wrestlers go themselves.
Oh, okay. Because this is MSG, you said, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
look at that roll up, so sloppy. Come on.
Yeah, that's not.
They're out here for 19 minutes. It was 2.5.
That was
it's better than.
That was a 19-minute match.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, I mean, now this could be just because we were talking and stuff, but that didn't feel like 19 minutes. I would have said 12 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, well, we talked a lot through the rest holds. We talked a lot through the bullshit. But like you said early, they started off good. The work was tight, but you got your Beefcake rest hold, you got your Rude rest hold, you got the stalling, you got the bullshit. But at the end, the final 5 minutes was strong.
Yeah. I love the stalling. The rest holds or whatever. That's whatever. But I love stalling. I love it.
Well, Rude's so good at the small things that it fits like a glove. You know.
Yeah.
And Beefcake with his cutting and strutting and whatnot. I don't know, 2.5. I thought it was totally fine.
Go. It's a completely serviceable house show match. The crowd liked it. That's all you need.
We're just looking for an excuse to talk about Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Rick Rude. But ultimately, Drew, I'm just looking for an excuse to bring you on here to ChroNoSo.
Hey.
This is your debut episode, your debut here. What did you think? Anything you plug as we get out of here? Anything you'd like to plug as we get out of here?
Oh, plugs? Nah, not right now. But thanks a lot for having me. I had a lot of fun. I appreciate you asking me on. Would love to be back.
we will we're just going to start sprinkling here on the YouTube, and this is the first introduction on it. If you haven't saw Chad and Hughes doing the number 2 War Games review for about a month or so ago, you guys had number 2 on the War Games Countdown, 1991. You guys reviewed that match. A little bit more of your element with the WCW, Drew, but we're going to have to drag you out and kind of shake you off and get you in the YouTube more often than not.
Absolutely. I'd love it.
All right, guys. We will see you on the next block of ChroNoSo, and check it out, guys.